friends, it's a brand new month, a fresh start, a clean slate, and the perfect moment to reset and refocus. Today I'm setting up my November spread in my daily grind planner, and I'm going to take you through my full monthly reset, reflecting on last month, breaking down my goals, planning my routines, and talking about how I stay organized as a mom and small business owner. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Christina, and I run a small business where I create awareness-based stickers, decals, bookmarks, and more. I share behind the scenes content, planning, goal setting, awareness topics, and my journey growing a small business. That sounds like your vibe. I'd love to have you stick around. With everything happening in our home, in business, planning is how I protect my peace. With 3 boys, all with their own therapies, appointments, and schedules, plus running and growing a business, life can move fast. Planning keeps me grounded. It takes the chaos in my head and puts it onto paper so I can see what needs my attention and what can wait. I don't feel like I'm reacting all the time. I can be intentional, and that makes all the difference. Before we look forward, I want to look back at October because it was a turning point for me. One of my biggest realizations was that I can't do everything at once, and I don't have to. I slowed down on creating new products so I could finally put energy into social media, something I've avoided for a long time because it intimidated me. And once I stopped letting it intimidate me and just showed up consistently, everything shifted. I saw growth, I saw engagement, but even more than that, I saw confidence. October taught me that progress comes from focus, not frenzy. Growth doesn't require 1,000 tasks, it requires consistency in the right ones. Were there moments I felt behind? Yes. Were there days I questioned myself? Absolutely. But I learned to choose progress over perfection, and now I'm carrying that lesson into November. Now, one of the features I love most about the Daily Grind Planner is the 10 goal system. I know that sounds like a lot, but here's why it works for me. It forces balance. I can't pour into just one area of my life, I have to pour into all the areas that matter. So instead of only focusing on the business or only focusing on home or only focusing on myself, I'm reminded to do a little bit in each category. Small steps every day, not huge leaps. Not unrealistic pressure, just intentional progress. And on the days I don't hit all 10, that's okay because doing 3 things with intention is better than 0 things in survival mode. As I sit down to set up a new month, I always start with reflection. I ask myself 3 questions: what worked, what didn't, what do I want to carry forward? This helps me close out the month with clarity, not chaos. I don't want to drag old habits, old stress, or old patterns into a new month. A reset should feel clean, not cluttered. Once I answer those questions, I'm ready for the next spread. So let's talk about November. I'm keeping the same structure as October, but this time I added measurable checkpoints so I can track my progress more clearly. My personal goals are healthy habits, self-care routines, home and kids systems. And my business goals are broken down into business, expand, t-shirts, social media, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. My main business goal is to record all October numbers, such as track social media growth, orders, and finances, and then hit 2,725 total orders, which means about 275 new orders in November, which is a stretch goal for me, but it keeps us on track to hit 3,000 orders by December 31st, and that is a milestone I really want to reach. My expand goal consists of just keeping up with Faire, making sure my catalog is up to date and inventory is accurate, send 1 newsletter each week, and add TikTok shop listings for November awareness causes and other categories like teachers and nurses. My t-shirt goal is to launch by November 14th. It's a hard deadline, so here we go. Social media. November is all about consistency and preparation, not scrambling. So TikTok, I want to try to post 3 times a day with a goal of hitting 500 followers. Instagram, 2 reels a day with 3 static posts a week and getting to 350 followers. I also want to post on my stories more and have a focus on that area. For YouTube, I want to do 1 long form content a week plus 2 to 3 shorts with a goal of getting 1,150 subscribers. These are very stretch goals for me. I have never grown that fast on social media. So, do I know if it's going to happen? Probably not. But if I don't set a strong goal, I'm not going to get anywhere. And this is where planning has truly changed my business. In November, when I started scheduling and batching my content instead of just posting when I felt ready, everything shifted. I finally stayed consistent, and that consistency is the reason why my reach grew, my engagement grew, and my confidence grew. So, planning didn't just organize me, it moved the needle in a real way. Here's how I stay on track weekly. I usually, on Sunday night, I do a reset. I open my monthly spread and I plug in all my appointments for the week, therapy schedules, launches, deadlines, content themes, my top 3 priorities. And this just gives me a roadmap for the week and not just a to-do list. And then daily, I open my planner and choose 1 small action for each goal, not 10 big tasks. Just small, doable actions, because big success is built on tiny repetition. Now, I want to be honest. There are days I fall behind, days I don't want to check off everything, days that life wins. When that happens, I try to give myself both grace and discipline. So some days require compassion, other days require a bit of a push, and planning helps me recognize which day is most. And planning helps me recognize which day is which. Since November kicks off the holiday season, this is a time when goals often fade, but I don't want to coast into January. I want to finish strong and stay grounded. For me, that means staying consistent, staying grateful, and staying realistic, especially in a busy season. Decorating my planner is honestly a little act of self care. It allows me to slow down, lets me be creative, and makes planning something I look forward to instead of something I avoid. It also keeps my awareness work front and center visually, which matters to me. Planning is what allows me to show up for the causes I care about, run this business, and still manage everything happening at home. With multiple appointments every week, I need a system that helps me feel in control, not lost in the shuffle. And this planner truly gives me that clarity. So that's my November setup. I hope that inspired you to start fresh, reset, and plan with intention this month. If you're planning for November too, drop one of your goals in the comments. I would love to cheer you on. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stick around. Here's to a productive, meaningful, and balanced November. We've got this one step at a time.